everybody, welcome to my channel. I have a homeschooling video about high school today, which I don't talk about a whole lot anymore just because after 10th grade, really what my daughter was doing was mostly all college classes. There was very little to share that was actually high school level related. So after 10th grade, I really had very little to share with you. Because she was doing dual credit classes. She started doing dual credit classes as a junior in high school, and then now that she's finishing up her senior year, she's doing, this semester in particular, everything she's doing is all college classes. So there's really not a whole lot to share. But I do get a lot of questions about her dual credit experience. Basically, if you don't know what dual credit means, it means that you are taking college classes in high school that count for high school credit, but also count as college credits. Which the benefit of that is you will graduate from college earlier than if you were to wait until after you graduate from high school and then start taking college classes. And usually there's also a financial benefit to dual credit because typically the classes are less expensive when you're taking a college class as a high school student. So there's a couple videos about that. I will link my homeschooling playlist. They're in that playlist about kind of our experience so far and what it is and why, you know, the benefits of doing it. But most of her junior year classes were college classes. And then, like I said, even this semester in particular, all of her classes are dual credit college classes. But I have gotten a lot of questions about what classes that she's taking, and I was a little reluctant to share that because most of these classes are very specific to what she is wanting to get for her college degree, which is graphic design. But I decided to go ahead and share it with you guys just to let you know. So there's two schools of thought. A lot of these dual credit places will tell you, colleges and dual credit advisors and stuff like that, they will say, go ahead and get all your general education requirements done as a dual credit student. So like your math and your science and your history and all that stuff. Get all those general education requirements done, or as many of them done as you can, as a dual credit student. So that way when you graduate high school, you're able to go usually straight into, or pretty close to straight into, your degree specific classes. That's one way to do it. And there's nothing wrong with doing it that way. I think that's a great way to do it as well. And we did kind of a mixture of that. She did some general education requirements, which would be required to her whether she was going to be a graphic designer or a teacher, you know, whatever, it doesn't really matter. They're general requirements that everyone has to take. She took a couple of those. She did contemporary math, which was the only math requirement she has for an associate's degree in graphic design. She did English 101 and 102, which counted for her English 3 and English 4 classes for high school. She did History of the U.S. since 1865. That counted as one of her history classes for high school. And she did Intro to Communications, which we counted towards, I think, an elective for high school. So those were her general education classes that she took. She does still have a science class. She has to take biology, which she's planning to take in the fall of this year. And other than that, I think that's the only general education requirement yet that she still needs to take to get her associates. So she did those, but I also wanted her to do some degree specific classes to make sure that she's actually going to like being a graphic designer, to make sure she actually still has interest in doing that. And I figured now is a good time to do it because the classes are less expensive. As a dual credit student, you pay a fraction of what you would pay in tuition for a dual credit class than you would if you were graduated from high school and a college student. Does that make sense? Like, let's just say for the sake of argument, this is not a real number, but let's just say a college class was $100. But as a dual credit student, you know, you may only have to pay a third of that or a half of that, really depending on, I don't know if every state is the same or every school is the same. I figured now is a good time for her to take some degree specific classes to make sure that's the path that she really wanted to go on. I was trying to minimize wasting time in college by like taking graphic design classes and then being like, oh, I don't like this, and you got to start over and change your major, and it's a whole big thing. So far, she's enjoying them and they're going really well. So I think we're definitely on the right path with the graphic design degree. She has taken or is currently taking beginning web design, intro to Photoshop, intro to Illustrator, digital information and communication, and introduction to graphic design. So that really gave her kind of a crash course in what graphic design is all about. First of all, introduction to graphic design. What is it? The theory of it. Introduction to Photoshop and introduction to Illustrator. Both of those classes are for editing software and design software that a lot of graphic designers are going to use. to kind of give her an idea of what that's going to be like. And then the other classes were just random, like web design and digital information and communication. So far things are going really well. And by the time she graduates from high school this year, so May 2022, when she graduates from high school, she will have completed already 1 year of her 2-year associate's degree in graphic design. We decided for her not to go after her bachelor's in graphic design because honestly, the expense is part of it, yes. And I personally feel like, and I know from watching people on YouTube and knowing people that work as graphic designers, they don't have a bachelor's, not all of them. I do realize that will close some doors for her that, you know, just automatically she won't be even eligible for. If a job is hiring and they require a bachelor's, that's going to pretty much count her out. But a lot of places that I've seen, they want you to have a bachelor's, but they also will consider the quality of your work. And then I think a lot of people that do graphic design, they do it for freelance. They do Etsy shops, and they make whatever they want, they sell whatever they want, and you don't have to have a bachelor's degree to do that. You don't even have to have an associate's to do that. So I feel like if her portfolio is strong enough, the quality of her work is strong enough, maybe she gets, you know, she does have to have an internship, so spring of 2023, which will be her last semester, she does have to have an internship. And I think that will also give her some experience. That will also give her maybe some things to put in her portfolio. So I feel like if that is strong enough, I don't really feel like it's necessary to go for your bachelor's. Yes, I do know it will close some doors, but I don't think it's going to close enough doors to make it worth paying. And I don't even know how many more thousands. I mean, I can't, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars more for a bachelor's versus an associate's. If she ever decides she wants to go back and get her bachelor's, that is up to her. She can, you know, put herself through school for that. No, maybe there's some companies that would pay for her to go to school for that. I don't know. But for her degree, I really didn't feel like it was necessary for her to have a bachelor's. You know, and if my youngest decides, you know, she wants to be something that requires a bachelor's, like there is no other option, you know, we'll assess that when we get to it. But with graphic design, it is a very artistic, abstract career in a way. And I feel like it's one of the few careers that you can get a little farther based on your work experience and based on, you know, your portfolio, the quality of work to show what you can do. That's my thought on it anyway. There's probably people that would disagree, and that's okay. But that's the decision we made. So that's why at the end of her high school, she will have finished a year of her 2-year degree. And I'm pretty excited about that because that means we only have 10 classes that we're gonna have to pay full price for, because we did do dual credit, and you know, we're trying to be smart with utilizing that discount that she gets from being in high school but taking college classes. So I hope that gives you guys a little bit more insight into what we've been up to the last 2 years of her high school career, really why I haven't shared a lot about high school, and then also kind of our approach of how we have utilized dual credit, the why we took the classes that, you know, I say we like I took them, why she took the classes that she took in the combination that she took, and really what a benefit it has been to her and also to us financially to utilize dual credit to as much of an extent as we could. So I hope that was interesting and helpful for you guys. Not to say this is what you should do by any means. You obviously have to do your own research. You have to find out, you know, what dual credit is like in your state. It may be different. I haven't done the research because I don't live anywhere else. I've only done the research at the school that she's going to and in the state that we live in, which is Kentucky. So do your own research, find out if there's any dual credit scholarships available. I know in Kentucky you get 2 free classes. If you take a dual credit class as a high school student, you get 2 classes for free. Just anybody. It's not based on income. It's just a scholarship that you get by living in Kentucky. So 2 of those classes we didn't even have to even pay for. So do your research about scholarships, talk to the advisors at the different schools. There's a lot of advisors that specifically will deal with dual credit students, so they are the most versed in how to navigate taking college classes as a high schooler. And just make sure you keep good records, you know, make sure you're keeping a transcript, make sure you're keeping your kids' grades. Even though they're in high school but taking a college class, you still need to make sure that you're keeping those grades that they're getting on their high school transcript, because at the end of their high school career, you're gonna have to update their transcripts, because colleges are gonna wanna see that. You know, that needs to be completed by that point and have all the grades in there and all the credit hours in there and everything. So make sure you keep good records. I do sell a copy of the transcript that we are using. If you're interested in that, you can just email me at aplacetonest@gmail.com, and it's like $10, and you can edit it however you want for as many students as you want. So email me if you're interested in purchasing that download. That's what we're using, and it's worked out well so far. So when she graduates high school in May, I just need to go in there and update those grades for her senior year, update her GPA, and then her college is going to want to see that as a requirement for her being a full-time college student starting in the fall. So, you know, just do your research, get your ducks in a row, and do the best that you can to utilize any money-saving, time-saving tactics that you can while your child is in high school. That's really going to help them in their college career. So hope this video was helpful. Make sure you check out my homeschooling playlist. It's linked for you in the description box. All of my homeschooling videos, previous curriculum choices videos, and those dual credit videos are in that playlist. So make sure you check that out. Don't forget to subscribe before you head out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.